Hello everyone and welcome back to my designing videos. This is the second video in the series of the designing phase that we're going through, and this time I'm going to be working on design 2, which is a different town compared to our hometown. I'm going to work on the connecting routes after I've done the towns. I think for the time being I'm just going to do 4 more towns so that there will be 5 altogether, and then go from there. So for this town we're going to do the one that comes off at the top, so we'll just have one like that. It doesn't need any roads on the side because that's not how we're going to get into it, so we're going to have the road here. Now I want to make sure the designs are different for each town because I don't want them to all look the same. So for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it so we're going to start off with this square shape. I apologise, the shapes aren't spot on, but they'll do for what I'm doing for this. And then we'll have a little pond there, a little pond there, and then what we're going to do is we're going to have we're going to do rows these could be houses, I'm not 100% sure yet what they are, but we're going to have rows. This could be like a little farmland, so we could have veg growing there, and then we could have a little house here, and then the player's got to go into the house to unlock something, and that's when this design would then probably, once you go into the house, because this is a town, you'd probably go into, that would take you to the dungeon area, where obviously we know the dungeon map would then spawn and do a random design that the player would go through, get to the boss, defeat the boss, and then we could have, for example, this could be locked all this way. So once you defeat the boss, these would come down, and then the player could have to go up here and do some searching to find the missing piece of whatever's missing, like that. Obviously it probably won't be that obvious in plain sight, but at the moment I think I like the design. I think we might need to work on the story a little bit, or what the player's going to find or something like that, but this gives me a really good head start into the design that I'm looking into doing for this next town. We could call this Farm Town. I like the idea of having a farm. We'll see how it goes. Maybe the player can interact with the vegetables, so they could pick up, I don't know, cabbages, carrots, onions, who knows, let's make. We could then use the food for like health or stamina. It all depends on where we go with the game, but while we're designing it's important to have these measures in place just in case you do use them. The good thing about it is you don't have to use them, but it's a good case to have something there and not use it, then to start making the game and you think, oh, I really wish I'd put that in there. So this is why we do the designing phase, so that we can go through each little bit to make sure that we've got everything that we want. After that we'll then work on putting the story in, but before we get that far we've still got 3 more designs to do of towns, and then we need to do the puzzle areas, the little sections that connect them. They could play more of a part than this, like that could be the part where the dungeon is, and then after the dungeon you go into the next town. That is a good idea. I'm going to write that down. So this is why we design. You see, I just had a random idea. That sounds like a better idea, but we'll see. It'll have to be after the design's done, and we'll go from there. I will just say now, designing the dungeons isn't going to be possible. We're only going to be able to design what they look like, because the dungeon randomizes every time. It'll be a different size every time the game is played, or you go into that dungeon. So it will have to be something like we'll design each separate room, like I've shown on previous pictures and videos of the dungeon rooms I've been designing. And that gives you a good idea of how we can design that, and then we'll have to go from there. However, this is now our next town done. So like I did with the last one, I'll probably draw it up again on paper. It might change, it might not. That's the whole point of the design phase. You never know what you're going to add or change around. So we'll go from there. Design 3 will be up tomorrow. So thank you for watching again, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.